Man, ladies and gentlemen, another day, another day of updates. Even though they decide to thief our mandate, life goes on. The world knows the truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the number one citizen of Edo State will be joining us in the next few minutes. He's already in our backstage. So, what we need to do now, please, we must hit minimum 500 people watching before I introduce His Excellency. What we need to, please, I need you all to share this video. Please, no time. No time. See, as they are gathering to spoil the image of a man who has done so well for the state, for our people, let us also gather to defend him. Let us also tell the world as in a lie. As they spread the lies, we go to spread the truth. You know, definitely the truth will always overtake the lies. Just as sometimes that time they take. So as I did and I share to other platforms so that they can all join us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our people on standby that will be taking your questions and sent to my WhatsApp. This is going to be our first broadcast of Governor Obaseki's side of the story. We will have up to 5 episodes before he hands over to definitely we don't have that time not there to recover our mandate yet. Before he hand over to people wait see for our mandate. So we'll try to get him to speak to us. You know, the man has been busy serving the people working. Now he want to come show us the report card. Like some people they just say, why gonna not start since? Why not start since? It is better late than never. But before we bring in the governor, maybe we just watch this documentary. Please, let's watch the documentary. Then I will introduce the governor.
Challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the number one citizen of Edo State, His Excellency, Governor Godwin Obaseki, to our platform this evening. Your Excellency.
How are you?
Very fine, Your Excellency. I can see you smiling. I'm sure you watched the documentary. Trust me, that's huge. That's huge, sir. That's huge. You're welcome to our platform, sir.
Thank you. I forgot with those images. They're quite a while now. I think during COVID we did we walked through of the School of Nursing Sciences, and then just last year we did that for the School of Health Technology. But great. It's good to be reminded
yes.
of how far we've gone.
Okay, Your Excellency, I want to appreciate you. After confirming your the appointment for today, I had to quickly rush to scout for these materials. Trust me, next time we'll get the updated documentaries of what you've done for Edo people. Sir, you promised us the last time that after the governorship election, you're going to make yourself available to speak to Edo people. Your Excellency, how is everything today? How you doing?
I mean, I'm good. Honestly, I'm good. As I told you, thing about being a professional is that you have to be deliberate. You have to know where you're going and understand how you want to get there. I said that I will work till the election day. And when I know that a decision has been made about who will succeed me, that's when I'll stop working and have the opportunity to now review what I've done and talk about what I've done and express to our people what has really happened this last 8 years. I want to thank you very much, very, very much. You know, between now and when I leave, I'm available to let Edo people know what really transpired in every area. We have no secrets, nothing to hide. Very, very open. In fact, my transition committee is putting together a data room where any information you want in the last 8 years, you can find any contract, any kobo we have spent, the explanation is there. Because it's not my money I spent, it's the people's money, and they're entitled to know how every kobo of Edo money has been spent. So we're not afraid, we're open, we're transparent. We are not perfect. I mean, no human being is perfect, mistakes can be made, but at least you'll see why we did what we did, even if you don't agree with what we did.
Your Excellency, that is a powerful one. And I can tell you, this first few minutes has really relaxed the tension of your supporters, your well-wishers, people that really wish you well, people that appreciate your good work. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the number one citizen of Edo State. Now, see finish as we speak. We have almost 1,900 people watching. Please, can we take it to 3,000 by you just clicking the share button? Please, I want you to click the share button. Please, let's hit 3,000 so that all the national dailies, the big blogs in Nigeria, they can get notifications to watch our governor. And please, after this broadcast, don't wait for me to download and cut the parts you like. Don't wait for me. It's a collective work. What you just do, copy the link, download it, cut the part where you like for this interview. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 11 minutes, 10 minutes, post it in different groups. If I see them, I will share them. Don't wait for me to do this. So we already have over 2,000 people watching. Please, let's get 500 instant shares. Please, if you know you are a big fan of the governor, if you know you are with the CFO where governor signed, it's in your hand, and you not share this video, I will vex for you. Because now that we have the tigers and the lions, we have the Agberos, they are back to our street. We are already hearing information of harassment across different communities. In fact, I heard this morning that there is one Okagele that was, that was banned by His Excellency. As we speak, the Okageles are back. Even when we see
Robert, let me tell you, I have till November 12th, and I will deal ruthlessly with any of those outs I see on the streets. And I've told my magistrate courts, I've alerted my security system, any citizen that is harassed by any thug or whatever they call themselves will meet with my wrath. I'm still governor till November 12th.
Oh, wow, beautiful. I love that. So, ladies and gentlemen, please share this broadcast. We are going to start hitting the questions. Now, Your Excellency, you've told us that you're going to create time for this engagement, and we title this Governor Obaseki's side of the story. You have been working. You're not a media person, even though in the last 8 years I've always tried to say, Your Excellency, we are showing your work, but you need to come out and tell the world about Obaseki say, Crusoe say, Neikare say, and Mr. Governor say not be the same. Thank God you are here today. So my first question before I really want us to discuss your achievements in the education sector today, because in all interviews, this sector means a lot to you. So maybe next time we'll take other sectors, Ministry of Bridges, we can go lands, but today we will focus on education. But before we go education, make I ask you one political question before when they bother a lot of people. Trust me, your supporters, your candidates, the party's candidate, Aso Ighodalo, your supporters and the supporters are not happy. You can see in few minutes after the old mandate, the old drama, talk to us.
Okay, we are doing very well. I mean, first because we know that Aso Ighodalo won that election, and we have proved it, and we've gone to INEC with a petition to show that he won and to show that the fraud that was committed in the collation process. I knew about that fraud. That was why I went to INEC that night. Met them, creating all sorts of fictitious paperwork. I met quite a few people that shouldn't have been there at that time. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But that's why Ighodalo won. He's in good spirits. We were together today. We went to Ewato for the sword turning and groundbreaking ceremony for the Jesuits University in Ewatu, which is clearly going to be one of the best universities in Africa. And from
Wow.
there, we went with him home to Ebohimi just to go and relax and just be with his people in Ebohimi. So I just left him a few hours ago, and he's fine and he's in good spirit. Because clearly he knew that he won the election. I mean, hands down.
Medicare? Living with diabetes?
Yes, let's say thank you very much. Now, how do you feel? How do you feel hearing, reading newspapers, listening to interviews, especially from your friend, the former governor Shomole, the impeached deputy governor? How do you feel when people try to paint this story that you are the cause? You are the cause of a Asway, because we are telling them that we won. They said no, that they won. How do you
How could they,
feel?
how could they have won Oredo, for instance?
How do
Well, like I said, I want to talk issues tonight. I don't want to talk about jokers. I mean, if you look at them over the last 8 years, you just find out that these are not people I should be engaging with. I mean, because not I'm not arrogant, but I'm just saying, look, there must be a basis for us to interact. If you have no
yes.
integrity, if you have no character, I mean, how do I even start engaging with you? I mean, that's the first thing. Where 80% to 90% of everything that comes out of your mouth is a lie. Where do I start engaging with you? Where you don't have the background, you don't have the basis, intellectual, moral, ethical basis to have conversations on issues of, so what's the basis? So at the end of the day, and issues is about our people. Issues about development. It's issues about how to lift our people from the deprivation they're suffering today, from hunger. Those are the issues, not talking about characters who didn't go to school, who just by some accident of placements found themselves in positions which they were not prepared for, or they don't have the capacity for. So I don't want to talk about them or talk about issues. They're a distraction to our development. Let's focus on what the real issues are. And what are the issues? When we came in 2017, how about you were in this city, you were in this state?
Yes.
What was the reputation of Edo? I mean, every evening, what was the main business? Can you recall that young boys and girls in the evening, all they had to do was sell out whatever, look for money in whatever ways, and head to Koba Hill to take transport. Where to Kano, and then from there across the Sahara to Libya, hoping to get into Europe for a better life. Right? You recall, I mean, I tell you, I think it was in January 2017 when an official of the International Office on Migration came to the office for a meeting with me and said that we have a crisis and that we had over 30,000 boys and girls who have been identified as Edo citizens in Libya. And can you imagine how many would have died on their way there? You had stories of people who tell you that their son had just left home, he was going with his friend, they were traveling, they heard from him. After a point, they did not hear from him again. There were hundreds of stories, and for me, it was an issue of concern. It was almost becoming like slavery, people selling themselves into slavery. And I recall during my electioneering, my campaigning, it was one issue nobody wanted to talk about. It was like, well, everybody should understand, what's wrong with traveling. what is traveling, being trafficked. It was, you had places they called it normal you. I mean,
Hmm.
cultural. And for a leader, who cares about his people, I just didn't think it was something, acceptable. As in history, we've never been sold into slavery. Why is it now we should be selling ourselves? Because of poverty? Because of maladministration of our state and our people? I said no. And I thank God for courage. I stood up and I said, what do we do? How do we resolve this problem? And
are you ready for a career change and eager to pursue a rewarding path as a trained electrician?
occurred to me that we should have a plan. The first part of that plan was to accept that trafficking and irregular migration was a problem. Admit that we have a problem that would destroy us as a people if we didn't check it. Because this was our own youth, your younger people who just didn't have any faith or hope in the system at home. Just felt that life, it has to be, it's better outside of here. Therefore, anywhere else but home. And I could see the danger to us as a group, as a tribe. And we saw something I knew we had to fight. The reason I'm going through all of this, I'm going to link it with the issue of education. Giving you this as the background. So by, I think the first quarter of 2017, I then said, okay, IOM, Swiss government, how can you help us? And they said the EU and some other countries were providing money for airlifts of some of these people home. At that point, they then advised that I could set up my own anti-trafficking task force. So I then said, okay, Attorney General, go and set up an Edo State anti-trafficking task force so that we can deal with this issue. The moment I did that, there was reaction from the federal government. The Director General of NAPTIP at that time came furious, fuming, and said, why are you duplicating federal efforts? We already have one. Why are you doing one in your state? I said, well, first, I have the authority to. And secondly, if the federal efforts were working, why would I need to? Do you think I'm happy being, as an Edo person, being stigmatized? We were the joke of the country. People were laughing at us. Oh, what is the capital of Italy? Edo State. Jokes like that. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. And so we set up the task force. We saw the negative reaction from government. And that's when I knew that, yes, there was more to this. But I think for me, it hit home when a young girl who was trafficked into Russia came back and said to me, they're very angry and she wanted justice. She knew the people who perpetrated the trafficking and she wanted to go after that. And she had enough information about them in Benin. I called my chief security officer at that time and to work with them. And after a few weeks, the girl came to me crying, frustrated. I said, sir, we will never be able to get these people because before we get to them, they've gotten information, they've moved. Because the people who are working with me on this are part of the. I said, okay, no problem. So this is deeper than we ever imagined. In fact, that was what led me to set up the task force. Having done that, let's fast forward. The task force started working. Monies came. They started airlifting the stranded victims from Libya back home.
Yes.
And because we had made the arrangements and we had a task force, every time an aircraft came in, we had our own people in the team, task force, who will be at the airport to receive them. And what then happened was, as we received these returnees, and over time, we received over 5,000 of them. As we received them, we then, every time we received them, we documented them. We got a lot of data. And that data, once we analyzed the data, it helped us to now begin to understand the root causes of this challenge. For instance, if every time anybody came back, the task force will go in the aircraft, receive them back home warmly. We resettled them, did health checks for them, gave them stipends for a period so that they can, stabilize, get back their lives together. And then documented them, understood who they are, where they come from, their educational qualifications, all of that. So we had data on almost 6,000 returnees. And what came out from that data, when we did the root cause analysis of trafficking and irregular migration, it pointed to one thing: the failure or collapse of our educational system.
Wow.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
It's your last chance to get the Disney Plus blockbuster offer. $1.99 a month for 3 months.
And so we then said, okay, what do we do? What is the plan to get out of this morass? First thing, we accepted that we have this problem. Second, we now have done a root cause analysis. Third, we need how to deal with the issue of trafficking as a crime, to go after those who are trafficking. And then lastly, the trafficking and human trafficking became vibrant because of the failure of our systems. Then we singled out education as that area for intervention. And the more we looked at the issues of education, we found out that it was just not. There was this penchant to focus on tertiary education, university, to get to university. For a long time, teachers were not being paid regularly. My predecessor in office, who unfortunately he didn't go to school. And found an opportunity, was humiliated teachers. Asked them, just didn't even understand what the challenges were. Thought that education was about red roof, giving contracts to their friends at inflated prices. Now that we know, how do we really fix the issue, the core issue in education, which is that these children who go to school, do they learn? Are they learning? Yes, schooling does not equate to learning.
Learning.
The fact that you have a fancy block of 3 classrooms does not mean, and the child leaves home every day and goes there and comes back, does not mean the child is learning. So we then have to focus on the issue of learning. And that what's important is not schooling, it's learning.
Learning.
And how do we do that? When you think about it, if the teacher is not in class or in school, that child cannot learn because there will be nobody to teach the child. Right? So it meant, therefore, that the key area of focus had to be the teacher. Focus on the teacher first. And I thank God that we were able to get the cooperation of the teachers. You see, sometimes you hear how we stigmatize and denigrate people because of whatever reasons, whatever sinister reasons. These same people that my predecessor humiliated online, these are the same people I approached, came up, asked them, we want to train you on new teaching methods and teaching styles. And the first thing I said, you know what? It is not compulsory. So those who want to volunteer, please let them come and I will train them. we had the first set of 2,000 volunteers who we used as the pilots and trained them in new pedagogy, how to teach children to learn.
Step into Wix Studio, the platform for agencies and enterprises, and turn website layouts into an art form.
Fortunately for us, because after we came into office, I ran a system.
Yes.
And we were able to reach out to experts and realize that a group had already developed a technology that will help organize teachers, train them, help them prepare their lesson notes, help them excite, motivate the children in class so that the children can be focused and learn. But it was expensive. It was like $40 per license.
Oh.
And we didn't have that kind of money. You guys have been doing this. You've done it in other countries in Africa, done it in Kenya and so on. So how many licenses have you sold all these years? 40,000 licenses. I said, but if we have, it's, a meaningful conversation, I'll buy up to 200,000 licenses. So why should I be paying $40? Please, let's give me a good price. Anyway, we got a good deal.
Wow.
And there I went for their graduation after 2 weeks of training in New Era.
Yeah, I was there. Yes. Sir.
It was, you remember, it was electric.
Yes. I've seen.
If you saw the excitement in these people, I just say, are these the same teachers we're talking about?
They were screaming and almost, they were screaming so excited, almost pulling down the foundation of New Era.
And that was the turning point. Because recall, after they finished, we had restored the self-esteem, the pride in being a teacher. And many of them left there very proud, calling themselves digital teachers.
Digital teacher, digital teacher. I think on the song.
And as a result, it created peer discrimination. And one would say, look, don't talk to me like that, or you're an analog teacher. So everybody wanted to be trained.
No, this is the song. No more analog, digital teacher, digital teacher, digital something.
You should have been one of them.
Yeah.
So what happened there was that suddenly we now had to train, and today we've trained almost 15,000 of them.
Wow.
Yes, in all our schools. So what it did, first, it standardized our teaching methods. So the way a child in Oredo is being taught is the same way a child in Akoko Edo is receiving lessons. Also solved several other problems. First, the issue of teacher absenteeism. Teachers being absent from classrooms. Because being a teacher means that you have a tablet, you have a device we give you.
Listen up, you penny pinchers. Since you seem to think our fire...
That's the device that helps you do your work. With that device, when you go to work in the morning, you synchronize with the head teacher, the headmaster. And that's the time that will tell me that you are in school. If you don't synchronize your device in the school location, I will know. Because that data comes back into the back-end portal.
Wow.
Yes. So it reduces the issues of teachers being absent from their classrooms. While in class, that device helps you take attendance, so we know the child that has come to school and the child that has been absent. And if we find that the child has been absent for a while, it triggers off a system, so the back office people know, and the managers go and look for that child. That's how a young girl, I mean, a very brilliant girl, I think, wanted to find out what had happened to this child. And then the parents were dodging. And then we realized that and I had to take it up with the governor of Katsina at that time to make sure that we got that child back to school. And that process, of just being able to have the data to see what is going on with these children was quite powerful. The other advantage is that the lesson notes, what the teacher is supposed to teach that day to the child, is already preloaded. So the teacher doesn't have to sit down writing lesson notes. The teacher has just been trained on pedagogy, on how to deliver to those children in class, to keep them interested, to keep them excited, to make them want to be in school and therefore learn. And it also helps us to score progressively the performance of each child. So I can tell you over a 6-year period how the children in the best system have progressed and have performed in school. And you can see a lot of them are brilliant. Many of them are geniuses. And guess what? These are not children of the rich people.
No.
These are children of houseboys and house helps. These are children of women, struggling to sell in the marketplace. This is our public school system. So it's not been cheap, it's not been expensive, but we've had to make sacrifices to look for money to keep this system running. And what is the benefit? The benefit is that in another 8 to 10 years, Edo clearly would have gone back to producing the best manpower in Africa. Because if a child can learn to read, write, improve their literary and numeracy skills.
As a renter and single mom, I'm furious about Prop 33. 33 repeals 100 affordable housing laws. It has making it harder to find and afford a place to live. No on 33.
Use Venmo Groups to seamlessly add and pay expenses, all in one place.
To the rates of his or her peers anywhere else in the world, then it just tells you that in 10 years, of the 500,000 children today in my system, the top 100,000 will be amazing performers globally. There will be great engineers, there will be great lawyers, there will be great architects, and the system also has put in a lot of curricular activities. They have school sports, inter-house sports for their physical well-being. We have excursions to go to sites. I mean, our public school system today equates with whatever you have anywhere else in the world. So back to you. So we had to do all of this to reset the foundation, the building blocks for our future. Because as we analyze data, we didn't realize that ratio between primary 6 and SS1 is 50%.
Wow.
That accounts for all the Agberos, all the Alaye boys and girls you see, and irregular migration. Today, from the number one in terms of irregular migration and human trafficking, Edo is not top 10 anymore.
Wow. From number 1.
Yes. Go to the International Office on Migration and look at the data out there.
To appreciate you. Friends all over the world, we have over 4,200 people watching. Please, let's hit 5,000 people watching. Please. This is the number 1 citizen of Edo State. We've been hearing of his good work. We've seen his good work, but it is key that we do this live chat to hear his side of the story, because lies have started flying, propaganda everywhere. We have over 4,000, as you can see on the screen, we have 4,224 people watching. Please, if we hit another 500 shares, trust me, we're going to hit over 5,000. And in the next 24 hours, this video should hit minimum of 200,000 people. If we get this information out, trust me, these bad guys that are coming to steal our common patrimony will not have the space to misinform our people. Let's see. I love the way you are. Yeah, continue.
Yes.
You are breaking it. Let me also add this up. You see,
yes.
the day you were engaging with Naptip at Tesua, I was there.
Yeah.
I followed you. I was there. There was another event. There was another place that I followed around the Iriri area where some white men came. I was also there. So you can see. And let me also tell you, I am a victim. He's the Eric. My business name is Eric Duke. He's the Eric. I lost him. That was 2008. So we are victims of this fight.
I'm so sorry.
This fight.
You can imagine how many people we lost. But you have to understand the political consequences. Who were those involved? Why was it big? It was very big business. Haven't taken the steps and stopped all of this. Do you think they'll keep quiet?
No.
So how the political fights you are seeing today can be traced to issues like this.
Wow.
Because people who were running rackets, trafficking rackets, human trafficking rackets, were making a lot of money from it. You know, my cooperation with the Italian gendarmes, Gary Mendes and the EU that helped us break the back of this big business didn't go down well with some political actors. They fight back today. Some of it is not disconnected from some of these policy measures we had to take. So, where are we today? We've fixed basic education. And I will forever be grateful to Dr. Joan Oviawe.
Oviawe, wow.
I couldn't have done this without her.
Are you ready for a career change and eager to pursue a rewarding path as a trained electrician? Our electrical technology career training program sets you up for success in residential, commercial.
This was a Cornell-trained PhD researcher in education who sat with me and made all that sacrifices these years. I mean, I'm an investment banker. What do I know about education? To help us rebuild the system, win the confidence of the teachers, and now helped reset Edo. Because in every system is set at the foundational education stage, whether America, Great Britain, it is when the children are, in their early formative years in school that what they need to do in life is taught to them. How to behave, the sense of citizenship, civic obligations, just not only numeracy and literacy skills. Yes, numeracy, how to add your sums together. Literacy skills, how to, spell, how to string words together. That when you hear some of these children in our public school system speak today, you feel goose pimples. I mean, you've seen some of them in their performances in some of our events.
Yes.
It's not a fluke. So, the foundational stage, we reset basic education. And one thing I must say quickly about resetting basic education. When I went to school, basic education, or 5 years of secondary school, and maybe 3 to 4 years of tertiary education. But about 25 years ago, a generation ago, they changed that. They said, no, basic school now is 3 years of middle school and 4 years of, tertiary education.
Sure.
Okay, so that was what they did on paper. The schools, which were supposed to have been disaggregated into junior and senior schools, never really happened. So the system was floating. So after primary 6, you are supposed to go to JSS. But you're attending JSSS. Confusion is that SUBEB or UBEC regulates basic education. It was not only until recently that they now set up another board nationally to regulate secondary education. You have another board regulating technical education. So putting all of this together has been so haphazard, had no flow. And that is part of the challenge we've had to kind of deal with systematically in Edo State. So when the child goes into school at the age of 6, what is government's responsibility for that child? The law says government should have that child for 9 years until that child is 15, and you leave JSS 1. That is supposed to be basic school.
You can skip this video, but you can't skip the truth. Right now in North Gaza, children are going to bed hungry.
But that was not the case.
Wow.
So by the time you leave JSS 3, even if you don't have the opportunity to continue your education in life, you have enough learning. You know a lot more about life that you can continue with your life. So today you have people who say they have finished primary 6, sometimes secondary school, and they cannot read or write. That's what we meant. But we have changed all of that in Edo. And the unfortunate aspect of this is that, we've drawn the line, in time. Unfortunately, you have a generation who are victims. Those people who were victims of it before we came. Those are the lions and tigers today.
True. Wow.
Who did not receive proper education, they cannot really read, they can't write, they can't help themselves. And so they're just on the streets without skills or employability skills, trying to deal with. And here again, I'm very happy with the work they've done in Ministry of Education to begin to emphasize adult education, particularly from Edo Sabi Read program.
Edo Sabi Read. The commissioner mentioned it the last time. True.
So it's about education. It's just not education for fancy. It's education to live life properly and to its fullest. See how government, the first 9 years, can imbue you, ensure that you have, the basic knowledge, basic skills, you have the right attitude to life. So what we've done is, after primary 6, as you go into JSS 1, what do we expect from you? We need to teach you life skills, the right work ethics, your right attitudes, your civic responsibilities. You have to have a vocation, handwork, whether you want to, as your workshop in schools, whether you're a barber, a tailor, carpenter, an artist, whatever it is. So if you finish, by the time you're finishing JSS 3, then if you can continue, if you have the resources, the means, fine. If you don't, you can always find something to do in life. You'll not be wasted. You have an option or to go into a secondary school and prepare yourself for university. But I've emphasized from day one that education cannot and should not just be about certificates.
I like my vacation stress-free, so I travel with Visa Debit. Imagine me looking for cash that's probably lost forever when I could be diving into the lush world of playing.
Listen, if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app instead. That's what I did, and that's how.
It should be about knowledge. And so as a state, as a government, that's the revolution we brought about. About 500,000 lives, 500,000 children who will not be Agberos again. They can go online. They have free Wi-Fi, they can browse. So if you say, oh, there's a job somewhere, they'll say, wait a minute, let me Google it.
Wow.
There are people with a background we can now train in all forms of skills and vocations. And that's why today I was very, very glad. I felt so fulfilled today when I went to Ewato.
Okay, yes, Leslie. That's the question I really want, because you've dealt seriously on the part of the basic education, the human trafficking, and what your administration has done. Now, listen, you went to Ewato today, the groundbreaking of Jesuit University in Ewato. So, in fact, when I called someone very close to say, "Okay, not there around that is an election matter. Okay, they go out to one go do ground the impact it will make to the education hub and the education system."
Thank you. I think at the apex of learning is the university system, and universities were universities like Ekpoma and Co. Then you now have a whole myriad of private universities. But what is the purpose? What's the sole goal of a university? First, it's provide teaching and research, such that you can have practical applications or appropriate understanding of society and the technicalities necessary for solving problems in different spheres of life. Can we say that the university living up to this expectation? In the past, they used to. You find Nigerian lecturers from, when I was in Ibadan, you found teachers, lecturers in Ibadan going on sabbatical to Oxford and other universities in England. And you had lecturers from those schools coming to Nigeria.
As a renter and single mom, I'm furious about Prop 33. 33 repeals 100 affordable housing laws. It has no protections for renters, making it harder to find and afford a place to live. No on 33.
On Medicare, living with diabetes, applying and wearing the free.
And, in as much as we've tried, unfortunately, I can't put the blame on any one person, but I won't say the quality of our tertiary institutions are in line with global standards like it used to be many years ago. So when you're looking at ranking of universities in Nigerian universities, for instance, you're not seeing any of, top 200 or top 300. You're looking, in the biggest country in Africa, with the largest population, and none of your university is top 100 in the world or top 500. So for us, two things. So I'm saying, yes, I think in terms of our educational policies, the emphasis today should be more on setting the basic on foundational learning, strengthening the foundation, and then preparing our people for, at the compare with what you have globally. You don't want a situation where today we are spending so much. We're spending in excess of $2 billion a year to send children abroad to obtain university degrees. If we invested a fraction of that into our university system, we will be much better off. So today, for me, was an opportunity to attract, and turn the sword on a school I believe is going to be one of the best universities in Africa. Not because they have a tradition. The Jesuits there have run educational institutions for 5 centuries. They know how to run schools. They have some of the best schools all over the world. You have Loyola Jesuits universities in America, in Latin America, but in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, there's none. So this is the one to be established. Yes. So so today for me that was the climax. Unlike Edo Best, some of them are geniuses. Finally, they have a place to express themselves. They have a place to end up in. Show that the world that Africa, Nigeria, has as much talent as anywhere else in the world. So it was like, I saw today the end of the beginning I started.
Wow. Your Excellency, want to thank you. Trust me, sir. I don't know how we're going to do this as we speak. We have almost 4,900 people watching. And in my comment section, some are commending, a lot are commending. In fact, I said they should be dropping their questions. Trust me, they are not interested in asking questions. They are just commending. And I know many will be crying out to say, God, oh, hey, they will say, let them don't move forward like this again. But we are praying, and let's the judiciary tell us say one question wey person say make I ask you. What are, make I read down. He said, what is the benefit of society and economy? What will be the benefit of all these things?
Well, you have the immediate, in the immediate, the short term, you now have citizens who we have a common basis to even communicate, can understand each other. Because part of the problems you're having today with some of these political leaders, people who just talk anyhow, is because there was no basis. They didn't go to school properly. There's no common ground to converse. So that's why there's such divergence. So I don't even know what, sometimes when they're talking, I don't even know what the issues are. What are we quarreling about? What is the difference? I don't understand it. Say, what is the problem? You know? Okay, you know, because your understanding of what government and politics and is not different. Somebody says, oh, somebody is politically dead. How? Somebody look like win election without rigging. You're calling somebody who won his election politically dead. So this is the best, you know, the best rank in our society going forward, because at least there's a common. Second, the biggest problem we have today, creating jobs for ourselves, just to do things for ourselves. You know, even before the coming of the right, every aspect of life, we looked for a way how they had the knowledge, whether it was in the area of medicine, you had your herbalists, whether it was the area of engineering, how were the moats built, how those artifacts created. You know, when we move from here to Republic of Benin today, how did transportation? You know that even in those are in the times past, we had a whole knowledge system, right? So today, because it was disrupted, today we are rebuilding that knowledge system, and you don't do it by one or two. It's on scale. The difference between what we have done in Edo in the last 8 years and what has been done. I'm not talking about 1,000, 10,000 people. I'm talking about at the same rate. It's huge. It's transformational. That's why the World Bank, the Gates Foundation, all over, everybody's all over us to try and understand how we've done this. It's different. And it's earth-shaking. So you have to understand that that's part of the reasons why we are having this, this tussle. Clearly, when all the teachers and parents came out this last election, because they knew the benefits of what this government has done and is offering to the children, they're also sad. Does this mean that it's all over? Whereas, they want to impose on us people who didn't go to school. How can they appreciate the need for education? Today, you're seeing growth of small businesses. In the markets, you see this Edo Sabi Rich centers are now training people, entrepreneurs, market women on how to read, on how to keep their books, on how to do, how to manage their businesses. But these are the same things we're teaching these children in GSS 1 to 3. So on the short term, we are resetting Edo for the future. Smartest core of manpower, Nigeria and Africa.
Your Excellency, I want to thank you today. We'll keep thanking you. See all this time when I thank you, so that will still owe you small because your people are, they are throwing in the question seriously. Some are asking ask Oga about Gelegele. No, today we are not discussing Gelegele, we are not discussing lands, we are not discussing roads, we are discussing education. And education, 1 hour is not enough for what you are.
We'll come back.
Okay, we'll come back. Okay, sir, what we are going to do is this.
What we've done now, like you've said, I've not answered your question in full. What is the future? So I've done education up to basic. I've done it, I'm looking at how private people are now coming in because of what we're doing and encouraging them to set up world-class universities. But between that junior school and what are we doing with our technical schools? We have to have a session so I can tell you and show you what we're doing on the technical concept. You remember when we went to College of Agriculture in Obaseki, what was it about?
I was actually going there.
So I'm going to have a session to explain how all of what we're doing at the basic level today will feed into. How does that feed into our agri programs like ESOP, the All Palm program? How does it feed into our fishing programs, where we want to be one of the largest suppliers of protein to Nigeria? Look at our School of Nursing Sciences. Why are we doing that? How does it fit into our whole medical strategy? The School of Health Technology, I told you, how does that help us establish one of the best healthcare systems in the country? How does all of that link with our financial system, the financing of healthcare? So whether it's healthcare, whether it's agriculture, whether it's technology, whether it's, all aspects of life that we expect to be competitive in, how does education reform feed into the future? So these are all the building blocks to make Edo great again. And I promise you,
Yes, my last question before you go. Please, sir. I know your phone has been ringing. Trust me, we have 4,900 people watching. Just let's see. This one today political small.
Yes.
How you feel where each time the opposition go out to campaign, they attack the investment your administration has done in education, especially when they use this phrase, Edo best is Edo Jaga Jaga. Edo best is this one, no teachers. Like the other guys said the last time, he said one teacher teaching 300. How do you feel when they attack your investment in education?
I feel sorry for them.
Okay.
Because they just expose their ignorance. You see, somebody who didn't really go to school cannot appreciate, what education is about. And even when there are improvements in their educational system, they say Edo best. You ask them, okay, what is the basis? What is Edo best? How many of them really know? They don't. So sometimes it's difficult to address to people who don't even know or understand what they're talking about. They have no data. They cannot even read or understand the data. So it's like a waste of time. The good thing is that you have parents, you have people who have seen the effect, the benefits. I give you a story. I give you a story. I'm sure I told it to you before.
You can skip this video, but you can't skip the truth. Right now in North Gaza, children are going to bed hungry every night. The recent conflict has left countless families without food, shelter, and hope.
When we just started Edo Best, I think after 2 terms, a woman came to me and she was anxious, tried to see me, and I finally said, okay, bring her in. What exactly is the issue? And the woman came in, and the first thing she did was praying for me, pray. This was, 2018 or something. Pray. I said, madam, what is the problem? He said, I came to talk to you about this Edo Best you have started. I said, what about? He said, I have 2 sons. One is 6 and one is 10. Since you started this, your Edo Best, I've observed, I observed something. They don't play again as much as they used to. He said, because the one who is 6, who is primary, we just started the Edo Best with. When he comes back from school, he's busy, he's doing his homework, he's reciting his alphabets, he's counting from 100 to 1 to 100, 100 back to 1, and he's all over the place. But he doesn't want to go and play ball with the brother again because he wants to do his own work. He said, and in the morning, he wakes up before anybody now. And if you don't give him his bath on time, he will make life miserable. Meanwhile, the brother will not like to go to school. So he wants to make sure that he gets to school early, because under the new curriculum, the new pedagogy, they have what they call the character board, and they give scores and marks for those who come to school early. So he will terrorize everybody who, if they don't give him his bath early, and take him to school early. Meanwhile, the elder brother said, but you said, what is even more bothersome is that after 2 terms, the 6-year-old can now read, but the 10-year-old can barely read. So what she has come to me for is, how can she do it? Can she now ask this 10-year-old to now they bring the 10-year-old back to primary 1 to start with the brother so he can know what the brother knows? At that time I said to him, Madam, I will, you don't have to, because I started discussing with our consultants and our experts how to deal with the issue of those who have not captured. So, and they were working on what they called a program, where a remediation program for those who, had passed the period or past the class or were ahead of the class where we started the best from. And we finally got together, and we have a program where more like a remediation program now for the schools. So to answer your question, that woman could see the difference in the lives of her children. But that politician who has stolen money and sent his own children abroad has no business with that system. So they can talk the way they like. They just behave the way they like, act the way they like, with impunity, with callousness. And you can see the way they handled the last Saturday's elections. They don't care. They don't know. They're wicked. And by the grace of God, we will stop them. We have actually stopped them. I can't hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I want to thank you for your time. It's been a wonderful evening with you. Trust me, over 4,800 people still watching you. Please, guys, don't go anywhere. We have achievement videos of the governor's achievement videos to play. You need to see what the governor has done with your money. You need to see is accountable. You can see the confidence in our governor. You don't be like, will they say, Oga will not do like this? So we don't say, Oga is still, that energy is still there. So, sir, I want to thank you. And I will still try to reach out to Mr. Crusoe and your people to get another date for another interview. But we will raise out more, maybe to like, maybe we can start by 8 to like 1 hour 30 minutes, because please, we need to raise it. Anytime you are free,
we'll do once a week so that I can
once a week. Okay, beautiful. So we have done for this week. This week, then next week, I'll communicate with my people. So just like to thank you very much. And then before you go, I want you to thank people we vote for now, because the organic votes now get them. Now the one with the bad not even reach before they're going to use bad or they change.
All day, since Sunday, now just like somebody just they buy handkerchief, they wipe away people's tears, because people, it has been very emotional. You can see that people came out. It's like hope was dashed. And I can't appreciate our people enough. You know, anybody who takes our people for granted, you do it at your own peril. Our people know, everybody knows what happened. They can appreciate what we have done as a government. And you are right. I thank them. You know, and they are the ones that give confidence to do the things I do. They threaten me, oh, they'll do this, they'll arrest me, they'll do this. I just look at them and laugh. I say, who, you? How? I have people behind me. And you saw it in the last election. Huh? It's not about talking. It's about real action and evidence and facts.
Yes, yes.
You know where Edo people, real Edo people, we don't talk much. Eh? We're deep people. But you know, we have recovered our states.
Yes.
And by the grace of God, it will never go back to where we will never go back to where we're coming from.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's let our governor go to do his work. So, guys, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this one.
Teen drivers are 400% more likely to crash than adult drivers, but quality drivers.
And they come, just give me 5 minutes and they come back.
As a renter and single mom, I was excited when I heard about Prop 33 until I read the fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us clap for the number one citizen of our great state, Governor Noegase Obaseki. If you enjoy this interview, if you love to hear the governor like this, because we need to encourage the governor. If they break and say, governor, come meet, say, over 50,000 people don't watch the interview. This one, I wait till channels not forgiven. So now wait till Arise not forgiven. Now wait till AIT not forgiven. Should be next time we say make it come. Even after he leave office, we will still be telling Your Excellency, because the person they bring come now wants to stay there for some months. You don't feel do anything. So even after the governor leave office, we will still they bring her come, make it come talk to him. So please let us get more views. What you need to do now, please, let's take for Facebook and YouTube, let's take the shares to 1,000. You when they watch, so just click the share button, please. You don't say you like something, and they support the thing. Just click the share button. I beg. You they share Sabinus, you they share comedy. This one I'm waiting. This interview need to do your wall. You need to do your profile for years. You go there. Anytime you want to watch it, you go your profile, you scroll to this very month, which is September. You scroll, you see. So share.
Welcome, everybody. Greetings to you. Kene, I see you. Seed, I see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. Mama Ito, I see you in the backstage. I will bring you up shortly. So, that was the outgoing governor of Edo State uh, coming to talk about what he has done for the state. My only question to him is that everything that he's done, it seems to be only in one location. What happened to the other locations? You understand? He was talking, I heard him talking about education, technology, and the rest of it, but it's not sprinkled all over. It's only in one location. So that means he came to be governor for just one location. Am I fair to say that? Because I mean, if you're showcasing what he did, right, you will talk about what he did in other regions, other districts, not just one. Because you didn't come to rule, you didn't come to serve just one group, one set of people, right? That's what it's looking like from this video. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking too soon, but this is my own thoughts on it, you know. Um, it's still something, so it will benefit the people of his own senatorial district at least, right? It will benefit them, but the other people, it won't benefit them. So the other people will suffer now. Let me say now struggle, for other people, because I know that some schools that are not um in his own senatorial districts, they cannot say the same thing. Matter of fact, they have a lot of complaints about him, but clearly he's done something for his own people to the disadvantage of others. Nigerian politicians, this is how sectionalized they are. Uh-huh. So I don't know. That's just me, Sha. Me, I don't know. Just me, I'm speaking my mind. And then meanwhile, I don't know. You guys, I don't know if you guys heard. Yaya Bello has been sued. I mean, Yaya Bello has sued. He has sued EFCC. Hey, what a joke of a country. Yaya Bello don't sue EFCC. Oh. So wetin EFCC dey look for am for? Oh, Salobua. You say wetin EFCC dey sue am for? Okay. Oh my God. It is just a joke, man. Nigeria don become joke. Yaya Bello, when they find, when they put wetin they call am, when they say if anybody see am make dem report, omo, the guy don sue them. Oh, say I don't know the details of the suit. I just saw the Yaya Bello, the hunted has become the hunter. He's not suing them. Eh? It's crazy. Hmm. Not be small thing, no. I beg, I no feel laugh. I just see am, I just dey laugh. I say, wow, now so we can't be for this country. Now so it can't be for this country when we say Yaya Bello when they dey look for when they put target for him back say anybody when you know where Yaya Bello dey make e come report. Now Yaya Bello now come turn around dey sue EFCC. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Eh? This is what this country has come to. The person that they have been trying to arrest for God knows how long. Meanwhile, there are people who are not spending any time in jail. EFCC will pick them up and say, hey, we're taking them because they committed a crime, only for them to turn around and release them. Isn't that what happened with the former EFCC guy, the one that worked with Hush Puppy, right? They protected that one from being arrested, and left Hush Puppy to take the fall alone. I think one other guy too that was, I think, arrested with Hush Puppy. I heard he was released recently, and I think he made I don't know. I think he kind of showed his face on the internet or something. I can't remember. People were all over it talking about it. Eh? Hmm. Ah, wow. I don't know. Now senators they raise alarm over insecurity. They never see anything. Maybe they have said they want to. It is Tinubu that they are after now. That's what the bandits on TikTok have come to declare. That Nigerians they are looking for our own cooperation to see how they can get to Tinubu. The audacity. It is the audacity for me. It is the audacity for me. Mama Ito abeg, welcome home. If you get wetin you wan talk, make you talk am. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mama Echo, you dey there? Mama Echo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? So, I won't be long here, so I'll probably be shutting it down anytime now. But I just wanted to, because I meant to bring that video earlier, but I didn't have the time to. That's why I'm bringing it now. And then on the other hand, your newly appointed Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kekere Ekun, he said she's not going to tolerate any corruption in the judiciary. I laugh. I laugh. Someone that swore in, was he not the one that swore in what's this man's name? The governor of Imo State that came a distant third, that be fourth. Wasn't she that was she not the one that swore him in? These people have taken Nigerians for a fool, to be honest. They're taking Nigerians for a ride. And meanwhile, the military is crying. They say they need more people. They only have, what, 2 million soldiers? They're looking for more soldiers. So they're asking people to come and join the army, to come and join the military, to join them to fight Boko Haram and the rest of it. I say, Omo, make una forget, make una leave them, make there remain 2 million till they don't have enough. Na im good for them. What's the point of joining when they discriminate and do all sorts of things to the people? Look at the way, the shoddy way they treated that lady. Yeah? And I don't know why the lady is making rounds, going from place to place, going to talk about, there's no need. If I were her, I'll just find a way to get out of that country. I don't know why she keeps putting her head out and talking and talking. Nigeria is not a safe place for you to be going around like that and talking after they have covered up for their oga, whether not commander or whatever it is. Anyway, Guys, now this video now say make I come share with you now today. I no intend to pay for it. So for everybody who was able to join in this evening, I want to thank you, appreciate you all for coming by. Asma Odialo, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day at work. See, thank you. Who else was here? I don't want to miss anybody this time because it wasn't okay. Kene, thank you very much. Olumide, thank you. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys on my next one. Thank you. Bye.